Why I became a pro se litigant? Well, it's really kind of a real quirky story. I used to sell on Craigslist in another company. Then I can't really divulge their name. But I sold on there. And what happened was I had been dealing with the company for about 2 or 3 years. And somewhere along the way, my thing that I like to sell were MacBook computers. So somebody got it in their mind that they were going to take my 2012 MacBook Pro and exchange it for their 2010 MacBook Pro, and then they were going to send it back to me. And so basically, that's what they did. So when I got it back, I'm pissed. Well, I didn't know what happened first. But the thing is, they said that this is what I misrepresented the product. So I don't really want to go into a long, drawn out story about what happened, because I'll kind of fill you in as we go along about things that you'll need to do and things that you need to learn. So I wind up, the company, they actually gave a refund to that customer, and through a bunch of bickering and everything, um, I found out that they sided with him opposed to me. Now, I probably should have just let it go, but no, I couldn't let it go, and I was really pissed. So what I did was I filed a law. Well, I looked for a lawyer. I call lawyers, call lawyers, and what many people are going to find out. There are many lawyers that if the case isn't worth a certain dollar amount, they're not going to touch the case. So you either have to make a decision that you're either going to come out of your pocket and pay to win you back your money, which you'll get that money and more, or you just have to decide to pony up and do it yourself. So again, I had no idea that I could sue because the other company was in a different state altogether. So I wind up, I'm calling because I worked from home at that time. And I called and I called, and I couldn't get anybody to take the case. And then lo and behold, a company had a 423 exchange, and that meant they were around Bristol, Tennessee. And so when I called the number, I talked to what would be an attorney, and then the attorney told me that I could sue that company. And I'm like, but they're not in my state. He said, well, do they do business in your state? That's the key word. Do they do business in your state? I said, well, yeah. He said, well, then you can sue them. So I was like, oh, great. So, I looked up the company's address and I sued them. Sued them in small claims court. So, if you're going to sue somebody, first thing you need to make sure of, is it worth your time? Because there is really a lot of ebbs and flows in the legal system that you got to learn. You got to learn. You just got to learn. And so this requires reading and understanding and comprehension. And so, like, I've been doing this now for a little over 7 years, where I've represented myself in different cases. And so it's been tedious, and it's been time consuming, but what I've gained is a wealth of knowledge that I'm going to share with you. And so the first thing that I'm going to tell you is, this is a piece of valuable information that you must know, that if you're going to sue a corporation or a LLC, they have what you call a registered agent. Now, what that registered agent person does, whether it be a man or a woman, is they actually are the person designated to receive the lawsuit that comes to that company, and then they disperse it to the person who handles it from there, and then that's your first roadblock that you got to go to. Now, nobody told me, but I kind of figured it out. Well, the attorney kind of guided me in the right direction, but once I understood that it was a registered agent, then the rest came kind of easy. So there's one place in particular that you can go. Well, with the beauty of Google, you can just Google stuff and it'll kind of give you things. But um, you can either go to Connecticut Secretary of State, or you can go to California Secretary of State, uh, possibly even New York Secretary of State. But I've noticed that California Secretary of State seems to be the creme de la creme. They will give you exactly what you're looking for. So all you got to do is just go there, and then you type in looking up a business, uh, and then you look up the registered agent, and then it'll have who the registered agent is. Sometimes 90% of the time it's usually CT corporations. And then from there, it will go on, and it'll be some, like with smaller companies, it'll be a certain designated person. But for the most part, you have to serve it to the right person. Of course, if it's just a regular person, you can just send it to that person, and you can serve it to them, and then uh, the rest is history. So that's my first lesson for today. Understanding that whenever you file a lawsuit, you have to make sure that you serve it to the right person. And then from there, we'll go to the next step. All right. Peace out. Have a good day.